Up next on Illinois Lawmakers, our guest is Democratic State Representative Anna Moeller of Elgin, a veteran of the Illinois House since 2014 and Vice Chair of the Health and Human Services Appropriations Committee.
Yes.
Good to have you on the program.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Wonderful being here with you. You were successful in winning House passage of one of Governor Pritzker's signature legislative goals on insurance reform.
Yes.
The Health Care Protection Act passed the House on a healthy bipartisan margin.
Yes.
Tell us about the act.
So this is a comprehensive set of policies that are meant to reform the insurance industry here in Illinois to make sure that consumers have access to high quality health care and that insurance companies are reformed to make sure that they're not putting profits over patient care. There are several elements included in the legislation. The first is to ban prior authorization for people who are experiencing critical mental health crises so that they can get the inpatient hospital care that they need without having to get prior approval from a health insurance company and deal with the bureaucracy of that during a time when they're facing a crisis in their life. The second aspect to this legislation is banning a procedure called step therapy. This is a policy that insurance companies use that require patients to fail first on a medication or procedure before they're allowed to access a medication or procedure that is prescribed by their doctor.
I'm familiar with that to a certain degree because I know of a situation where a person was really not needing a hip transplant yet, but they wanted her to go through a certain kind of physical therapy, which didn't work, and you ended up with...
Exactly. And when we've been talking to doctors and patients and advocates around the state, this particular practice comes up a lot. So many people have to go through this process before being able to access the care that they actually need. And so this is an important provision that would ban insurance companies from requiring patients to go through that.
And you're talking also about ensuring that they go by what are known as generally accepted standards of care.
Yes. Again, this is requiring insurance companies, when they're determining what types of procedures are going to be covered, that they use generally accepted standards of care that are developed by experts in the field of the clinical expertise or area that governs that procedure, so that they're not arbitrarily denying access to therapies, procedures, medications based on cost. Again, too often we hear about insurance companies being the barrier to access to care because of a desire to protect profits, and we're ending that practice in Illinois, making sure that people get the care that they need.
There's another provision in here about banning insurance companies from requiring prior authorization to covering the cost of inpatient psychiatric services.
Yes. Yeah, during testimony in the Human Services Committee, where this bill came through, and the committee that I chair, we heard heartbreaking stories from doctors. Knowing that a patient needed the inpatient care to deal with a mental health crisis, they may be suicidal, they may be exhibiting symptoms that would cause alarm, only to be told that they were not allowed to stay, be admitted into the hospital because of an insurance company requirement to provide prior authorization, or patients having to deal with an insurance company while they're having an emotional crisis. This bill would ban that. This would give patients at least 72 hours in the hospital to get stabilized before an insurance company would come in and work on concurrent review.
We've got about 30 seconds left. What about junk insurance?
Yes, that was part of the original bill. This bill would ban short-term junk insurance policies, which are actually financial scams. They offer very low premiums but very high deductibles, and often do not cover prior pre-existing conditions. And so the original bill would ban that. That provision has been carved out and is now part of a separate bill, but we hope to also get that passed this year.
Representative Moeller, thank you so much for your time on Illinois Lawmakers. We certainly
It's been
appreciate
such a
it.
pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.